This is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am the battle-tested weekend warrior, and I am sports genius. You know what I love about NFL picks time? It's NFL picks time. What else is there to love about it? I love it. Actually, a few things though. One is that I love that I never have to think about what to say. I just make picks. Two is that I love my picks video because I put the records of Phil Simms, Chris Collins, myself, Middle Class Matt, and all the games I picked. So you don't have to watch my video with a pen and paper and do it. I hate watching other people's picks videos and having to write down what they say. It's right there underneath it. So I've beaten Phil Simms and Chris Collinsworth the last 2 weeks. I've beaten Chris Collinsworth the last 3 weeks because we both had bad weeks, week 3. In the last 2 weeks, last week I was 11-3. The week before I was 12-3. So I'm 23-6 the last 2 weeks. That is burning it up. Had a bad week 3, but I have recovered in a big, dominant way. So let me get down to my picks. Isn't a Thursday night game always boring? It's always like a good team versus a sorry team. It always seems that way at least. Sometimes there's a decent matchup, but for the most part it's weak. Pittsburgh at Tennessee. Got Pittsburgh going on the road, still winning impressively, 31-17. Next, Oakland at Atlanta. I have Atlanta winning that ball game 30-17. So Atlanta is at home, should be able to win that game easily. Next game, Cincinnati at Cleveland. Now it's at Cleveland, and Cleveland is due a win, but still I'm going to go with Cincinnati. 30-24 Cincinnati, but that is a game that is very dangerous if Cincinnati doesn't watch out. But they're coming off a loss. I say they're going to recover. They're a good team, great offense. Next, St. Louis at Miami. Now that's a tough game to pick too. There's some tough ones this week. Really, there really are. It could go either way. I'm a low-scoring game, 17-13. Miami wins because they're at home, so I'll go with them. But St. Louis could win. I wouldn't be surprised. Next, Indianapolis at the Jets. This is another tough game. The Jets have been really struggling, and Indianapolis is getting things together. Andrew Luck does not look like a rookie. But I'm going to say the veteran Jets, pull themselves up by the bootstraps. They're at home. They win 23-20 in a close one against Andrew Luck and the Colts. Detroit at Philadelphia. I have Philadelphia winning that game. They play well at home, even though they turn the ball over. 24-17. They have a pretty good defense, at least when it comes to not allowing people to score. I have them on my fantasy team. They definitely don't score a lot of points on fantasy, but they don't allow a lot of points from the other team. A good kind of bend but don't break defense. Next, I have Kansas City going to Tampa Bay. Neither one of these teams are great offensively. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay because they're at home. Kansas City played well against the Ravens, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay 17-12 in a low-scoring outing. Then Dallas goes to Baltimore. Going to take Baltimore. They're one of the better teams. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl preseason. I think they're going to have to win games like this to be able to do that. So I picked Baltimore to win 20-13. Not a lot of offense. Baltimore's offense has really struggled, but I think their defense can hold Dallas in check. Next, New England at Seattle. I'm going to take New England 24-16. That's a trap game for New England. They better watch out. But Seattle won one they shouldn't have won against the Panthers, at least in my opinion. I guess their record would indicate they're better than the Panthers. But they got one on the road. I think New England's the kind of team, elite teams can go on the road and win games, and New England's been an elite team for a long time. So I'm going to have New England take that game 24-16. Buffalo at Arizona. That's a tough one to pick. Buffalo is not a bad team, and they need a win, but they're on the road. They're at Arizona. Arizona's coming off a loss. They have a good defense, so I'm going to have them win 20-17 in a low-scoring outing. The Giants versus the 49ers. Now, this is a brutal game. This one is tough to pick. The Giants are playing underdog, and we're going to come in there and do it, but the 49ers have not forgot about losing in the playoffs last time. They're at home, but they've been on a roll. The Giants need the game more. This one I hate to even have to pick it. But I'm going to take San Francisco in a close game, 24-20 at home. I believe their defense will smack the wounded offense of the Giants in the mouth. The Giants have a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. So I'm going to say they're going to win, but I would not be surprised if Giants come in there and show them who the Super Bowl champions are. But I'm going to take the 49ers in this game. Next, Minnesota at Washington, another tough game. Real toss-up. But I'm going to take Washington. They say RG3 is going to be back, so if he's back, I think he'll play well enough. Not a real high-scoring game. 23-20. Minnesota has a good defense, and they can run the ball. But I'm going to take Dallas, who's a pretty good run stopper and has enough offense to score enough points to beat them. Then Green Bay at Houston. This one's a tough one, and this is going to be my big upset. I'm going to pick Green Bay to win, to beat Houston. Houston, some people consider the best team in the NFL, but Green Bay knows that, and they're going to have something to prove. And they don't have Brian Cushing. Now, they can rally around that for one game. That's what you see a lot of times in injuries. You see their team rally around that injury. But I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers comes down there and shows who's the boss, and beats Houston 27-13. Green Bay, that's my upset. And then another tough one to pick. I mean, this was a brutal week. I definitely can see myself only going 500 this week and not continue my winning ways, but I hope I do. Hope I show that I'm the sports genius. I'm taking Denver over San Diego, 28-24. I believe Manning's going to come in there. Both teams are 2-3. They need a win. Manning's going to come in there and show why he's been the elite quarterback in the NFL for the last 10 years, or even actually more than that. But the elite quarterback, he's going to go in there, get the win in a close game. But I see San Diego winning it too, but I'm going to go with Denver 28-24. So check out all my NFL videos. Check out my fantasy videos, which are comedy and funny. We're having a good time. Check them all out. Check out my live footage from college games. And I'll see you next time. This is Middle Class Matt.